Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, viewers. My name is Abdi Amin Muhammad. Maybe it might be new. So I humbly ask you to subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss the upcoming videos. So today, the session for today will be getting square roots of numbers without using calculators. For us to achieve that, we should be able to memorize the squares of the first 10 digits from 1 to 10. We already have here. So let us start an example so that we get to understand what I'm talking about. So example number one, let us find the square root of 1024. But before we continue, here we can see that 1 squared and 9 squared will give you, the last digit will be 1. 2 squared and 8 squared, the last digit will give us 4. 3 squared and 7 squared will give you 9. 4 squared and 6 squared will give you 6. And finally 5 squared will give you 5. So from here we can see that it is either, the last digit of this number will either be 2 or 8. So it will either be 2 or 8. Either be 2 or 8. So how can we get the first digit? We cancel these two. We have 10 here. So we look for the 2 digits that will be closer to 10. One will be 3 squared, which is 9. The other one will be 4 squared, which is 16. We can see that 16 is more than 10. So we ignore this. We check this now. So the first digit will be 3. And the second digit is either 2, that will give you 32, or will give you now 38. Now here comes. When we say 1024, say that the number will be either in between 900 or 1600. So we say that is squared will give you 900. 40 squared will give you 1600. So in between these two, 1024 is nearer to 30 squared. For that reason, we take between the two last digits, we take the smaller digit because we are seeing that 1024 is nearer to 900. So from there we can say the number that we are looking for here is 32. So thus we can say the square root of 1024 is 32. We go for example number 2. Example number 2. Example number 2. The square root of 4489. So we can see the last digit is either 3 or 7. 3 or 7. How can we get the first digit? We look for the square of a number that is nearer to this. The one which is less than and one which is more than. So we can say 6 squared will give us 36. 7 squared will give us 49. So we can say that 49 is already more than, that excludes now the 7. So the first digit is 6. So the numbers will be either 63 or 67. Now we come here. We can see that 63 is in between 60 and 70. 67 is also in between 60 and 70. So we can say 6 squared will give you 3,600. And 70 squared will give you 4,900. Which one is it nearer to? 4,900 or 3,600? So we can see that this number that you are looking for is closer to 70 than 60. For that reason, we take 67. So we can say the square root of 4,489 is 67. And finally, let's go for example number 3. Example number 3, square root of 9604. So we can see that the last digit will either be 2 or 8. 2 or 8. Now we cancel this. The square that is nearer to 96 is either we get 9 squared, which is 81, or 10 squared, which is 100. So we already exclude 10 because 100 is more than 96. So the number that we'll be having, the first digit will be 9. So the number that we are looking for is either 92 or 98. So we can see that 92 or 98, both of them are in between 90 squared. They are in between 90 or 100. For us to know the square root of this, we say 90 squared is 8100 and 100 squared is 10,000. So between 8,100 and 10,000, 9604 is nearer to 10,000. Then we take the bigger digit. So that will give us now 98. Thus, we can the square root of 9,604 is 98. Thank you.